Hey everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here, and today we're going to be going over a $5,000 silver coin purchase that I just made from France. I'm super excited to open this thing up and see what's inside. It should be really jam-packed full of different numismatic types. A lot of them, it was from a new buyer or a new seller. I was like, I'll buy X amount of mixed Australian 92.5% silver, or I'll buy 44 €10 silver commemoratives, and all of these I'm going to be paying a little bit over melt, so definitely paid up for them, but I'm hoping that there's going to be some better types inside, some older ones, and should be a little bit of historical learning along the way. Let's open the bag and talk about a heavy brick of silver. This is certainly it. It was well packed, but we're now condensing it way down, and so maybe I'll keep opening it off screen, just that could be tougher than I think. But yeah, I'm so excited to see what we got, because I've been looking for some good sources for world silver for a long time. And as you can see, we've got a great assortment in front of us, so a lot to open up. I'm excited. I think I'll take off all the tape and then we'll figure out a lot by lot plan to go. And I think we figured it out, and I'm really excited. We have a ton right here. Tons of different silver, a lot of different denominations, a lot of different countries. Pretty much all of it is European, so definitely going to be bolstering my upcoming auctions. I may have to sell some of this. The one bag that didn't make it was on the large I paid I think 25% over if I factor in a tariff. But we'll go through these. A lot of these, I believe, are going to be Belgian. So we have some Leopold the First, 1852. That's an earlier date. I think he struck coins through 1865 with an absence from 53 to 6 or 54 to 64. He comes back in 1865. Then Leopold II, who I have a lot of his crown size, and that one's actually in quite nice condition, ends up coming in and striking more. So we have a couple different dates. It looks like most of these are going to be the earlier 40s types. There's a lot from 1849 actually, 1850, nice. There's 1865, as I was mentioning, and then let's see over here, 49. Oh, and we have one of the more royal Roman-looking portraits. Same year, 1849, but definitely feels older. Okay, cool. It looks like we have and a Greek back there. So 1896, Alfonso the 13th. This one is going to be a 5 peseta. Can't be too concerned about the cleaning. 1877, this is his father, the prior ruler, a 5 peseta coin. Here we have a Greek 5 drachma from 1875, super cool. And a 1876. Ooh, whoa, take a look at that. That looks like some kind of a Sardinian or Italian, early Italian 5 lire. That is a awesome surprise, because I just bought mostly Leopold earlier crowns. Let's see what this is. Fernandez II. Wow, even though it's hold, 1853 20 grani, and I think, is this a 5 lire? Okay, this is 5 lire. This is 20 grani. Maybe this is some kind of Sardinia, or I forget exactly which land it's from. 1946, a little more modern than I'd expected, but a 100,000 lei. That's an interesting denomination. Very cool. And then last but not least, looks like a 5 lire in good shape from Victorio Emmanuel II. So that is a really nice assortment there of crown size silver. Fantastic. Let's see, next up, if I just take this, I'm pretty sure I bought something like 25 or 50 older 2 franc French coins. These, I think, maybe a lot of the series types. So that's certainly, I think series type is my favorite type of French 5 franc, and they're a bit more common or prevalent on the 2 franc versions, and seems like, a good number of them may have the date worn away, which is okay. But this one, 1868, obviously it's a lot more fun when the date is still on there. Just from a collecting perspective, you can put together a full set. That one looks like an 1871. Interesting too how these seem to have worn quite a lot on the one side, on the reverse side more so than the obverse. There's another 1871. So very cool. I don't want to, unveil a bunch of the same. Basically, I'm going to guess that if we go through, there's probably not going to be too many different types. 1869, Napoleon III. He was Napoleon I's nephew, and so he takes power after 1852. But Seri's going to be after he's taken out. It's more of like a, hey, we don't have a king. We're just the French Republic. We're not going to put a king on our coins. So that was kind of the mentality going into striking these items. So very, very fun, interesting. And on those was a reasonable premium. I think like maybe 20% over, factoring in fees and duties, which is tough, but also so excited to have all this cool coinage in front of us. This was a buy where I had in the past had fun selling some like 4-packs of different, and some of these are earlier, but have some half-franc Swiss coins. And so a lot of these actually are earlier. I was thinking that it would be fun to get a couple more so I could put together some more, I guess selections. 1916, 1921 half-franc, 1910 half-franc, 1932 half-franc, 1966. So really spanning a long time. 1966 is interesting. Shows that they're striking, a nice 1882 half-franc. That's old. This is one of the most consistent designs as well. They struck these coins, all the way up till 67, I think even in 68, while maintaining the same design from 1878. So just a very storied type of coin, and I think a fun one to collect and a reminder of kind of monetary stability in Europe. Swiss has always had that kind of safe haven asset. I think it's even been seen recently, 1882, and so it's so cool to have such a wide variety of Swiss silver dates in there, from helping people build collections. I think a lot of the people do like collecting different dates. Next up, I had no idea what these were. They kind of look different than I had expected. I certainly haven't seen them in the past. So these are 10 euro commemoratives, which I didn't really know existed, but I was thinking that they were pretty cool sounding. And obviously the euro comes into play. I want to say 2001 is when it officially starts. And they do a good job striking commemorative euro types. So here we have a 10 euro from the German Bundesrepublik, 800 years of Dresden. It's an Eastern German city. This one is going to be also, I think all of these may be German commemoratives. That's Stadthanse. That one looks like a Mozart commemorative with a phoenix on the reverse. Super neat. Another phoenix type. And then here they're talking about their soccer tradition. So these feel very European, very German, true to German commemorative history. They do a ton of really interesting West German commemoratives as well. There we see their pride in Albert Einstein, E = mc squared. I used to take classes in the same classroom he taught at Princeton. And then here, 2005, a 1200 years of Magdeburg. So it's a reminder about how historic a lot of the cities in Germany are as well, which is really interesting. The Bayerischer Wald, I think that refers to the Bavarian location. And then we have some more football. We have different, I don't know who Nieder is, but tons and tons of cool German commemorative history. I'm going to learn a little bit more about German history as I inventory them, that's for sure. So a very fun series. Super enjoying those. Let's see. Next up, I think we go for it and take a look at these. I bought a bunch of, similar to how I got some of the 2 francs, I also bought a bunch of 1 francs. So we have a lot more of the series type here. 1872. As you can see, there's a mix of wear. There's 1872 a little bit, shining through a little bit better, if you will. It seems like 72 is a common date for these. We'll see if we get any non-72. That one looks like it might be 1881. 72 again. Nice obverse there. 1888. Really, really strong. Nice coin. 1895. 1 franc. So we do have a nice mix there. 1872, a little bit of discoloration. It looks like, again, similar. 1866, maybe a few less of the Napoleon III, though none of them. 1866, that's a sharp one. 1888. So it seems like a little more on the series front. 1868. Not seeing anything wildly out of the ordinary. 1887, 81. nice mix. Again, I don't want to bog down in checking out literally every one there. I'm excited there's like a more premium lot, though. If we do a quick look at some of these world coins, it looks like these are mostly series as well. Though there's 1865, let's see. Seems like these ones wore down much more quickly in terms of their reverses. Not necessarily in every one, as we can see, 1887, 1881. But just as I was doing like a quick scan, overall seemed to be a couple more where we didn't have as much of a reverse left. So that one, I mean, you can see, I think it says 1895, but things are a little bit, they circulated, which was obviously the whole intent with producing them, but interesting to note. And then right here is the Australian stuff. I'm really excited for these, as it's been a while since I've found tons of Australian coins. And as I was saying that, it said that my memory was full on the phone that I'm recording this video with, so I am coming back to you, but we've got a ton of different dates from what I can see on a quick glance. So like as I look at the 1 shilling, okay, maybe not. 1917 is the first, but 1910, that was the first year, and before that, that was the first year that they struck coinage, basically. So they were doing a lot of, probably, I would imagine. I know that they had like tradesmen's tokens, but they were probably using a lot of the British coinage. But a lot of these colonial settlements, like even here in America, they were very upset by the lack of small change and change in general. So and I'm going to tell this story poorly, but there was something about, and let me unbox a couple of these as well. There was something about 1914, 1917, 18, 26, 36, 17, and 17. There was a whole thing about how American early presidents and founding fathers were like, we need to strike coins. I forget if it was Thomas Jefferson or George Washington, to show that we were really our own autonomous country. Money systems, obviously very important, and these are that early Australian coin history when they were striking sterling. Then they shift over to a 50% design, but yeah, a lot of nice little types here, all in 90%. So there are 92.5 sterling percent. After the World War, in Britain they go down to 50%. Australia stays for a little bit longer, but then makes that transition again in the mid-30s. And then our last batch here is going to be what I was sold as more premium coins. These had a like 27% over, or I guess even a little closer towards 30 when you factor in shipping costs, but I was excited to snag them. We're going to start with a nicer looking Series 2 franc coin. Here we have a 2 pesetas from 1882. That's pretty cool. Spanish. A Belgian example from 1912 with some toning. Another 2 pesetas, 1870. That's like the Republic type. Right here, also nice condition, 1881. Here is an 1875 2 franc. That's a much earlier one. Really, really cool. And a 1894 and 1911 and 1936. Quite interesting. Let's see. We've got a 31 from Switzerland, a 1909 2 franc from Belgium. And so there's a lot of different cooler, I think slightly larger denomination examples in this batch. 1887, 1909, 1947. Let's see, 1911, 1912. Ooh, that one's in nice shape. From King Albert, who comes after King Leopold II. We got a nice another Spanish example, but certainly a lot more earlier types across the board. And I'm just kind of quickly panning for any new types that we didn't get elsewhere. 1870, I think that's going to say. So I guess we're getting a couple more of the 2 francs in this one, which honestly I might not have predicted, but always good to stock up on some more interesting inventory. Let's see what's in here. These look like a smaller, may be tough. I may have to live. Okay, let's see if I can do this somewhat elegantly. I don't think I'll be able to. Let me get out my little cutting knife. I just really want to avoid hurting any of the coins inside, as that would be pretty much a disaster. But I think I'm going to be able to get this open here. All right. Predictions on what the coins will be. I'm hoping that we have some higher premium, interesting tiny silver. Let's see what we got. We have some interesting 20 centimes, which I've seen these types before. The French would make some pretty small coinage, so yeah, looks like we got some French 20 centimes from the 50s and 60s, and maybe an Italian 20 centesimi as well. So that's kind of cool. Let's see other higher premium items. I guess I should have taken this one, unwrapped it before as well, but we'll do it live, and then we'll get into the what looks like a lot of 1 franc denominations. So maybe these are going to be also like, kind of in the 50 centime and associated denominations range would be my best guess as to what these are going to be. So we will figure it out shortly, and I think that that's right. So maybe a couple more on the, let's see. I think these are actually similar types to what, though I did see an interesting 10 soldi type of the Vatican. That's kind of cool. This one, 1903, is going to be, okay, that's also Swiss, but we do have some new types. Ooh, a Napoleon the First. Here, this one is just which is still very cool, 1863 Italian example, but that one, I believe, is going to be a Napoleonic 10, Napoleon's reign of Italy, basically. Not in great shape, but very, very cool. There's a Leopold Premier. There's a Papal 10 soldi. Here we have a 1863 Italian type. So let's see if there's any other countries or examples. I haven't seen that one. That's very interesting. 1873, a Romanian coin. That's cool. Another Papal. There's a Latin Monetary Union 1874 50 drachma. There's a Napoleon, super cool. 50 centimes from 18-something-8. I'm going to guess that that's 1808, because I'm pretty sure that's when Napoleon was around. So, and Bolivian. So I think we've seen most of the different types that could be included in there. Maybe a final example of a Napoleonic example, reigning in Italy. How interesting. And then last but not least, let's tackle some of the 1 franc Latin Monetary Union designs. We've got some Swiss stuff, 1876, 86, let's see, 20, 1912, 1921, 1875, 1914, and then we have everything from a Papal 1 lire, a couple of Papal 1 lires, those are awesome. This is like a commemorative 1880 with the 2 Leopold I and II, a Latvian 1 lot from 1924. Super neat. That looks like some nifty, perhaps artificial, but also maybe not. But looks a little, I think it is artificial, or was sitting in like a album for a while, or a flip, and toned all crazy rainbows in 1914. So very, very cool. A lot of great examples. And I'm trying to debate. Well, let's make sure that there's nothing crazy on camera in here. I feel like it's been a pretty good hunt. Certainly helping me stock up. Nice 1914 1 franc. But yeah, helping me stock up on a lot of the 1932, 1958, 1910, 86, 99, 86, 1 lire, nice Italian 1863 example, 1936, 1914. There's 1867. Ooh, Napoleon. Whoa, so that is a great find. Even if we don't know the date, that's going to be awesome. Just to be able to offer people some Napoleonic items. There's a Venezuelan type. So we have certainly gotten a nice mix here. 1936, excuse me, 1880, 1880, you know, get some of those commems. Now I want to, oh, nice, super cool. So I'm glad that we looked at this last group to see what could be in there, because we're also going to see, I just think that this is like a nice overall type. A Victorio Emmanuel, one Lear with a Quadriga, which is super evocative of a lot of the earlier Roman coins. So all in all, love it. Super, super interesting group. We have so much silver here. I'm really pleased. And again, I'll be bringing to you as many unboxings as I can in the coming weeks. Thanks for watching the video. Make sure to head on over to treasuretown.com and sign up for our email list to stay up to date on everything that's happening, whether it's auction updates, exciting new inventory drops, coin collecting news, or general informational resources. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on another one.